I don't know why I keep having problems trying to get on. Everything looking here okay? Welcome, welcome. Waving to all. Yeah, got 7 people. So 6 of yous are in the background. Hi, Christy. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. It's a beautiful day here. Hi, Tori. Hey, Shauna. Hey, Kathy. Diane. Gina. Good to see you all. Now, today I'm going to be doing my June folder. I'll show you I'm not completely done my May, but I do have some ideas for the back cover. So I'll just wait for a few people to come in. I was actually looking at these old books of mine. I don't know if any of you have these painting books. I love them because you can use bits and pieces of them to make your own canvas paint. They're so great. They're really hard to find now, though. Michaels doesn't carry them anymore. So you probably have to go online, maybe. I don't think I've seen them on Amazon either. Hey, Nana. Lane. Good to see you all. Hi, Gail. Yeah, so I was looking at these because I've got so many ideas for to do on my June folder. I get an idea, I go look for stuff, and then I find other stuff. And, oh, I like that. So now I have. Sorry, Dot. You may not even be able to get these. They're very difficult to find now. These are like, well, let's see, what's the date on this one? Copyright. This is 2010. This was one of the newer ones. Let's see. This one is an older one, and it is. Don't even see a date on this one. Copyright. No, they don't have a copyright date on this one. I don't see it. But they're great if you want to start out. So a lot of times, if you start out with decorative painting, it leads you into your acrylic painting. There's some great steps on learning how to use your brush, different techniques. They're really great. Making a house for my new watercolors. Oh, what watercolors did you get, Janet? Hey, Eileen. Did you come in? Yes, you did. Zian? Am I saying that right? Welcome, welcome. Yeesh. Eileen. They are nice. You just have to give them a try. Now, at Dee Dee's, if you remember, I enabled her and what was it? Kenny went and bought it for her. So there's actually two of them. This is the one. And if you're planning on doing faces, these really are a good reference because it gives you one person and all of the different expressions that she could make. My sister's watching, but she can't remember how to comment again. Oh, jeez. Can you see chat? I don't know what you're on. Are you on your iPad or? Jeez. Oh, you're on your phone. Can you? Oh, and you can't see chat. Well, I haven't got an iPhone, so I can't tell you how to. Tell her it's much easier on the iPad. Desert Nana says it's much easier on the iPad. I'm getting like mom. um, I would share. Let's see. I'm not sure. I can't tell you. Should be something under. Is that what you were on last week? Or were you on the iPad? Kathy, tell your sister, hit live chat next to the thumbs down button. Did you hear that? Will you visit me in the home when they put me away? Yes, I'll come visit you. Oh dear. Linda says to hit the thumbs or hit the live chat next to the thumbs down button. All right. So yeah. So there's different people, there's women, there's men, different ages, color hair, short hair. They even give a little cartoon of how they changed. Guys with beards, mustaches. See, they've used this to make this cartoon, which is kind of cool. So they're excellent book. All kinds of different faces. There's a ton of them. So if you ever want an expression, this is a great book to have. There, older lady with a hat on, and every angle possible. There's kissing, different mouths. Hats. Good book. Oh, cool, Dot. You gonna get it? What? Wait a minute. 78 pounds? Are you kidding me? Holy jeez. Probably easier to get go straight to the person that I think she has a website. She may, I don't know if she still got one though. That was quite a few years ago. This guy there. So this is where I got this from. So I don't. Hi, Colleen, and awesome. So this is an old book, 2013 to 2014, and at the very back of it, it's just an old composition book that I glued pages together, and I started doing different expressions and put them on. I think some of these were stamps, some of them were different lettering from magazines, that type of thing. And then I only put one color to enhance it. And I used the gesso and shading gray by Golden. I'll say, Dot. That's nuts. And then I always like putting a little saying or something beside it, kind of what they might be saying in their head. Wait, wait, wait. She's looking through a window and it's a rainy day. Time. You know how it goes through your fingers. Late night. Really? That's what she's saying. Debt I had. She doesn't have any debt now. She's just been crowned queen. Everyone else is going to pay her bills. Kissing goodbye. Hey, Kimberly. And then just snow falling. Worried. Tired guy. And that was for October. A mummy. I actually put gauze on to wrap them. That was a fun one. So you can use your different types of like I've done everything, like some different. This was for mixing for skin tones. That was just something I tried. I was from the Journal 52, I think it was. That's that mesh from the bags of onions or whatever. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Laura. That was a mix of paint and pictures from a magazine. Stencils and different kinds of, what do they call this? Found poetry, I think they call it. Just modern, using waste. There you go. Eileen, are you proud of me? Waste sticker. And I used it. I didn't throw it out. That's different piecing of papers. This is a whale's tail swimming away from you. And this is, I think this was from Kathy Blue 2 is her name. She had a class many, many years ago. And then I just put I had some leftover resin and I just put it on the clock and the windows. And then just, yeah, Kathy Blue 2, 21 Secrets, 2013. That was fun. Just piecing things together and connecting them by putting on something that goes through them all or a color that coordinates them all in some way. And then that was beginning of lessons for Joanne Sharp was her name, I think. Yeah. That was my first comp book I ever did. I never but it was fun. So you can use your comp books, magazines, make them into a comp book. I found though that if you're going to add a lot of paint and paper, you really don't need to glue two of them together. Because after they're done, they're quite stiff. Thanks, guys. So, oh yeah. So this book, and then there's a children's book also. Same thing, but young kids, different ages. I think they have babies in here too. Teenagers. Let's see. Yeah. It's from 8 months. Oh, newborn to 19 years old. It's different male, female, different races. Mouths again. Hats. I think they're really good books if you want to do some, because it gives you the proper, instead of having to go look through it on the internet, these are all for resource, so you can use these without any problems. Who was the teacher that you did the houses? The houses? I believe it was Kathy Blue 2. I think it was her. 21 Secrets. Pretty sure it was. Yeah, it's not written on here, but I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. And I think she's still around. I've seen some different posts by her. All right. So that was my May. I did do a few extra things to it. I put the May on here. And then I made this little, Lena suggested that I do a seed packet. So this is from Pinterest. It's a vintage seed packet for onions. I thought it was funny. And then I just put a little note about the month and then put a little sticker, or it's a pretty sturdy, it's not really chipboard, but from one of my packs that I have of different stuff for paper. And I just put it in there. And then I did add some leaves for this to show that he was digging my flowers up. The reflective was, I had extra resin left over from a canvas that I did. And so I went through all my books and put it on different stuff. That was one of the things I put it on. That was that. And then I haven't done anything, but I have an idea of doing dandelions. And I thought it would look kind of cool if I gessoed this whole thing black and then painted the dandelions on top of it. Because May is the month of dandelions. Like there's a huge amount of dandelions here in Canada because we're not allowed to spray them anymore. So everybody's got dandelions. And the bees are very happy. Is that ice stuff? Yeah, there is a resin called ice, I think. If you don't want to use resin, you could also use, I don't know if they sell it anymore. Deco Art used to have a triple thick, was it triple thick something? It was like a clear coat, finish coat. I know a lot of people use that, and it's shiny. I want to play with resin. You have to make sure you have an open window with resin because now there is a new one out that's not too bad, but it does smell. So you really do have to have a window open. There is dandelion. Yes, there is dandelion wine, but I really can't be bothered making it. And I don't drink. Hey, Devin. Hey, Chili. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking of doing this. So the May or June, I was looking at a bunch of different things. So I really like Now I took a copy of her work just to show you what it looks like. And it's Amanda Clark. She's a UK girl. And I love her whimsical type landscape. It's kind of like whimsical meets primitive in a way. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little fox running down the hill there. I still do the wishing, literally. Do you really? Drives me nuts. You go and cut the lawn, and then you come out 2 hours later, and you got all these sticks standing up. Like, how did they grow that fast? Then you feel like you have to go get the lawnmower out to get those down. Drives you crazy. So June, they're done with, pretty much. But May is like dandelion season. Yeah, they instantly fast. Drives me crazy. It's a gardening thing. Just like, whoa. So I was actually thinking of maybe doing one of trying to get this type of softness in a landscape for June. So which one would you like me to do? You guys have a choice. Do you want me to finish May, or would you like me to start on June? Yeah, I love the colors. She has beautiful colors. Go look her up. She's got some beautiful work. Love the colors on the landscape. Start June. June. Okay, so far it looks like it's June. She's from the UK. There's a few other artists that have the same similar look, but I really like her stuff. So let's try this. So we'll need some aqua, some lime green, probably Payne's gray. Looks like some mauve. And white, of course. This here is, you could do ochre, maybe. So I'm just studying that to see what could I do. I think I'm going to use I don't know if anybody wants to paint along. You go on her, she's on Pinterest, she's on Facebook, she has her own website, she has an Etsy. Thanks, Eileen. So I think got some citron green. Looks like there's some Kelly green in there too. It almost looks like they did part of the background very dark because I can see some darkness in here and here. Possibly up in here too. And then they went over top of it with the color. Probably maybe that one, or possibly that one. Oh, that almost looks like the blue they're using in there. And gray. And might fall. Might just use, or do I have paint? Nightfall blue, similar to Payne's gray. And then one. This is called crocus yellow. It's almost got a bit of orange in it though. French vanilla maybe? So orange, possibly. All right. Yeah, you could probably do it in pastels fairly easily. Okay, so just looking at this, how to go about it. See, we got the green. A little bit of the Kelly green. And this one is Indian turquoise. Yeah, I do too, Laura. Pretty. Indian turquoise. And let's see. I might have to go darker with that blue. Almost into a plate. No, I think I almost have to go Prussian blue, maybe? No, I think it's more black. Or a dark. black green. That might be cool. Yeah, that'll do. Black green, real nice color. It's almost black, but it's got a nice tinge to it, so it's should be good. Okay. I have that. I have that. I have that. I think I'm going to use some of this orangey Calypso orange. I can always lighten it with some white or a buff color. That's kind of an odd shade, but I think I'm going to use the green and just lighten it with some ivory light maybe, and cool white. I'm going to put my white on a different tray. Phew. Oh, and when I like painting, I like to use a bit of acrylic glazing medium. Just makes the paper. And I will put some gesso on here. Oh, I forgot to. No. Why is it taking? Let's have a goober in there. And gesso. This is just Liquitex. I don't mind Liquitex myself. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's gritty, but I don't mind it because I like to put a lot of stuff besides paint, like colored pencil and pastels, maybe all kinds of stuff. So we'll just spread this around. The reason why I'm putting on the gesso is because if I were to paint it, it wouldn't move the same way. It would go right into the paper. So if I wanted to remove anything, I couldn't. When you have a coat of gesso on top, you're able to move your paint easily. And it's good for glazing if you like to do a lot of glazing. Okay, gotta dry that and I'll read chat. Hi, Melinda. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah, isn't it pretty, Eileen? It's got some really interesting stuff. I like the simplicity of it too. So is anyone playing along? You got to make sure it's good and dry because we're going to put a lot of layers on this. Awesome, Kathy, you're in your journal. Oh, great, Melinda. Oh, you're doing iCAD, Devin. Awesome. I thought about it and then I thought, no, too much on my palette. I got to deal with what I have right now. It'd be different if it was starting in the wintertime or late fall when the gardening season's gone. I'm making, I have never done it before. Oh, great. You got to show it, post it. I want to see it. It's going to be neat seeing how everyone does the iPad. Oh, wow. Do you have a YouTube? Do you stream at all, Melinda? Or are you on Instagram? Or well, look at you, Eileen. Are you up to date on these file folders? You don't stream. Yes, in my mind, I am. Eileen. There. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Where should we start? I think I'm going to start with the turquoise. It's going to be a kind of a light. I'm just going to use the big brush. Let's get some paper towels. sequence prompt. Oh, there's prompts for it? I didn't know that. So I'm just dipping my brush in some of that medium for glazing. And we're just gonna go down here. We'll put lots of layers on. And then I'm going to get into the green. Oh, got some black. Too close to the black. Well, it's green, but too close. See. Just get a layer on to start, and then we can draw out where we want stuff. Let's dry that. Now, normally, if I would do this on a canvas, I wouldn't have to be drying as often, but with paper, you really do need to dry it. And the glazing medium tends to take a little longer if you're going to wait without using your heat gun. It takes longer to dry. right. I think I'm going to do this area up here. So the orangey, kind of a whitish orange. Okay, now I need a bristle brush. Need something a little stiffer. Just to blend it in a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit of the medium on my brush every time I dip into the paint. Just makes it more see-through. It's more of a glaze than opaque. And then we can darken the inside. Now, with doing this type of work, you have to make sure there's a certain stage where the paint starts to lift instead of spread. You got to make sure you dry it. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and do this part of the hill. So that's more into bit of lighter in here. Then I think I need a darker blue. Just a smidge. On the green. A bit of blue. And oh, Patty is streaming tonight for the eye stencils. Awesome. Patty Tolley Parrish, if you're watching the recording, go to her channel if you're interested in stencils, because she is having a sale on eyestencils.com. I believe it's 25% off. Okay. That. Oh, I know it. Well, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I made the hill a little different. I need a little bit more of that blue. Just a touch here. Turn it upside down or sideways. Alrighty. And this needs a little bit darker green in here. See, it's a little bit darker right around the bottom here. It's right in here. Kind of the valley. Here. A little bit of black. defining the very edge there. I think that hill's a little bit too pointed, so let's bring that down a bit. So I'm just trying to blend it into the other color. Leave a little bit of a darkened area. It's kind of like watercoloring in a way. Blending the edges. Don't want a hard edge. And then a little bit more of that blue. We'll soften this up a bit. And a little bit of white. How much glaze medium do you add? I just, here. So here's the green. So I would dip my tip of my brush in the green. And then this is the glazing medium right here. You just dab it. And go like that. You just keep playing with it. You'll find you don't need a lot of glazing. So if you have too much on your brush, it'll take the paint away that's already on your canvas or paper. At this area here, I think needs a little, this is blue. It needs a little bit of darkening in here. See, I know there's already glazing on this part, so I'm not dipping my brush in it again because it's already moving quite well. Add some green. A little bit of buff. I'm going to rinse my brush because I don't want green in this area up here. A little bit of buff, a little bit of medium. Take some off my brush. And just go in a swirling rotation. I like the bristle brushes or a fairly stiff brush when you're doing this. It's a little easier. And it's just a very small amount of paint. When you have the glazing medium on your brush, it goes a long ways. All right, let's see what else. I think we can bring this bush here down to there. And make sure you don't have a lot of water in your brush. I always squeeze my brush with a paper towel after I've rinsed it. This is a black green. I didn't put a whole lot of glazing medium because I want this to be fairly opaque. Because this is a bush. Same with this area here. This should be a little darker, so I'm not going to put any glazing medium on here. I'm just going to go along the edge here so it's really good and dark. Then blend it out. Take some off. So it's almost a dry brush effect when you blend it out. All right. Okay, let's rinse the brush and then we'll do the sky up here. Any questions? Kathy or anyone in the chat, what do you keep in your file folder? Whatever art I'm doing. Everybody's different. So if it's just a place for me when I'm doing streams that I keep my monthly work that I've done on a stream in a folder. Some people are going to use it as inventory, or could be whatever you want. Maybe it'll be pictures of what happened during the month. I just like putting in what I've done art-wise in the folder. ACB. Okay, so looks like we have a nice area right in here that's going to be more of a sun spot area. So when you see, go on Pinterest or YouTube, wherever, and you see work by other people, as long as you're not selling it, but you really like the style or something that they've done, try it. That's how artists learn. That's how in the past, all the masters, that's how they taught. So don't be scared. Tell who you're getting your inspiration from, give them credit, but that's how we learn as artists, to try other things. Because if we were never allowed to try what other people were doing, nobody would be doing anything. I'm going to put a little bit more blue in here, I think. Adding a little bit of white and smearing it into the kind of where the two colors meet, just to connect them a little bit. You could make clouds if you want. Do whatever you want. I think I'm going to put a little more green in this area. A bit of blue. Here. Okay. Let's see. Maybe a little bit of green in here. A little brighter. And right in here. And kind of like that's where the sun part is. So this would be fairly bright in here coming down. So we'll just glaze it, brighten it up. And this here should be brighter then. So it'll be lit by the sun a bit. We'll brighten that up a little bit. And then maybe right here, midge. So it's kind of a back and forth kind of thing. There. All right, so let's dry that, and then we can do the bushes. Okay, so there's so far. It's just kind of, it's just a go back and forth type of thing. Okay, so she has a bush. See how she's done her bushes and trees? So here, we can always put this one in. But see, they're kind of sitting, it's not the way a tree would be, but it's drawn in. So you can use your Poscas, paint pens. You could probably even use pencil crayon if you didn't want to use, or if you don't have those things. A white Prismacolor or whatever you have will work. Even pen, white pen. So I think the easiest thing would be, like, this is simple enough. So you just draw your limbs, and then you can pop in your trees wherever you want. And then you, it looks like they put in it after, but very, very lightly. Let's try that. So, let's see, I got a paint pen here. This is just Pintar fine tip paint pen. And these are on Amazon. You can get them in all colors if you want, or you can get them in sets of black and white, or just black. They're fairly reasonable, and I've had really good luck with them. They don't, when you prime them afterwards, you don't all of a sudden have a gush of white paint come out. I have that problem with a lot of the, what is it? The other paint marker I use. Ah, Sharpie. It's acrylic. They have a nice fine tip. Okay, so we can, now this one is more of a blue shade. Now you could get a blue marker. Maybe I'll use a blue pencil crayon. Just hold on. Or I could put a blue wash over top of it. Let me think. A soft blue. Let me check. See what I can do. something like this. Nice fine sharp point. See what we can do. See if it goes on here. Yeah, it works. Could go finer if I wanted to. Can you see it? One. See if it's lighter. It's a little bit lighter. Not much, but I'm going to use the white one. So as you go to the top, you get finer details, more and no overlap too, because it looks more interesting if you overlap your trunks and stuff. It's kind of like doodling. Okay. And then, let's see. We have, we can put, actually there's a little building in here. You can see that right there, the little lights. That's just highlighted. So let's see. So you just see the top of the roof and along the roof line. And then 2 windows. And then we'll take some paint, see how they've lightened it a little bit on the roof. That's the A from her name, but I'm going to make the roof like that. Actually, that should go down there. Okay, and then we'll do, let's see, there's this tree here. So we'll just go up into this area. I think we can take the marker with this one, and we'll just like so. And then we're going to put, let's see. Okay, so they have a big tree here. Now we can probably paint this one, but I'm just going to outline it. This one should be done in paint because it's bigger. So I'm just marking the way the branches would be going. All right. And then I think we'll put one here, small one. Get quiet. I'm concentrating. All right. Now there's a black one. We've got a black marker. I actually could use a script, maybe. Find one. There's you want it the right consistency, not too wet, but not too thick. Just twirl your brush to load it. And we'll just put one in here. Very lightly, light touch. There we go. All right. Now, have these things. So they're just columnar evergreens of some sort. They're all, it's more of a silhouette than anything else. I'm going to just put 3 because I like 3 instead of 4. It's more pleasing. And then down here, there's some grasses. So it's just lightly flick. Make sure your brush is loaded though. I'm just gonna put some extra ones in because I can. All right. Now, while I'm got my brush out, I may as well fill in this tree trunk. And it's more of a kind of a purpley color, actually. So let's get, I'm going to use the same paint, but I'm going to, instead of making a purple, I think I'll just put some blue. Make sure I don't get my hand in it. Now, if you have Posca pens, that would be a good color, use them. I don't have Posca pens. I don't have a lot of paint pens. This one too is fairly make it a little thicker. There you go. And this guy too needs to be mix some of the blue and the cream color. So I didn't add any of the medium to this because I want it to be very cover it very well. I don't want it to be transparent. You can do all of them, or you can leave some that are white too. Takes a little practice using a script liner. Go on a piece of paper and practice. Now, that's the first bit of it. So you got to let it dry, and then you can do the shadows on it. Let's see, what else? What else? Any questions? I wonder how you could paint in space. There is a guy doing a spacewalk above. I think that would be a little difficult. The paint would leave your paintbrush, would it not? Let's see if we can use some of this to shade some of this. There's kind of a glazing in here just to show that the house is there. Let that dry. Okay. Yes, I am painting on a folder. See? So you have to dry it a lot, Colleen, or it'll get too wet. I'm gonna use a little bit more of that blue. Oh, that's not it. Blue. This one. I'll put it on here. Okay, so I'm gonna mix some of this with some. So I want it very transparent because I'm going to do some shading. So, being that the sun is coming at you, there'll probably be more shade in the center of this tree. And there will be lighter areas on the outside of the tree. It'll be reflecting off of the. So just kind of do sketchy lines, kind of makes it look like bark. If you want, you can get a little darker where your twigs are. A lot of times you'll see twigs on the tree that are really dark. So just use the stronger blue. That one kind of looks funny. Oh well. And you can take a pen if you wanted to go back over it. I might put some more white on it. Let's see. Maybe some in this tree here. A little bit. Same with here. All right. Let's dry that and then we'll add some tops to those trees. Hi, Jerry. Now, there's different ways you can go about doing this. You can use a deer foot stippler or a real scruffy brush like this. This is just the cheap dollar store brushes that are bristled. So wet it, then squeeze off any excess. Now, let's see. This one here has kind of a purpley color, but there's no other purple in this. So I'm going to go with more on the bluey side to, let's see. I guess we could put a little bit of that in there. And I'm just tapping. So I want a little bit of the medium. And then I want to take a brush or paper towel and tap off some of it. I don't want really rough, defined and then you just tap, lightly tap. Don't pounce it down too hard. Just keep twirling your brush around so you don't get the same design of the bristles. Just go across the top. Make it whatever you want size-wise. And as you go out, it kind of integrates into the background a little bit. Okay. And rinse your brush. Then I want you to take the same, but add a little bit of white to it. I want it lighter. And then right on the top part, a little bit more, I think. Go on the top part of it. So it gives a little bit of highlight. All right. Next one is kind of a light green. So we'll take some of this white. Do a bit of orange to dull it down a little bit. Wipe it off. And then this one here, it's just very lightly. And add a little bit of cream color to that again. Lighten it up a bit. And then just go on the top. My brush is a little bit too big for this. I had a little bit smaller, but that'll do. Welcome, Colleen. Awesome. All right, so see, just a little bit to start. Now you can take your brush we were using if you want it a little more smoother, I guess you could say, and just go over it the same way we did. Make it a little bit smoother. There's my like this. There. You got Deerfoot? Yeah, Deerfoot will work. Let's see. I think this needs to be a little darker. So I'm just going to do a smidgen of that dark green and mix it with a little bit of that darker color ever so lightly. Rinse. Take some medium. Very light. Might have to wait. There. All right. Then what else can we do here? A little bit of a shadow. Actually, this color here will probably do it. More of a glaze than anything else. There'd be a shadow here. That's too light. Add some dark to it. Same with here. All right. Let's see what else. Okay, so there's a bunch of plants in here. So if you got a really fairly small filbert would work because this is a small painting and you want a lot fairly opaque color. So don't put any of the medium on your brush, and you can mix the two, green and on your brush, and then just do a bunch of ticks. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'm just pouncing basically the shape. And then just make a line. Don't have to, but could use a colored pencil if you want to do it that way also. overlap them. Might be grasses. Depends how much you want to put in. You don't have to do exactly what she's done. Some bigger foliage. Just add a little more paint then. I'm just dabbing. I'm putting like all three colors, so I'm always getting a different shade as I go. Just gives it a little bit of more interest. You never know what you're getting. All right. Then take a marker, paint marker, and put a bunch of lines in, and a few over here. And then what they've done is Queen Anne's lace. So all you have to do is just do a bunch of dots, kind of like an umbrella. It's good enough. If you want, you can take your white pencil crayon and add the lines connecting to the dots. I'll show you that in a minute. But it's not necessary. You could just leave it like this. Okay. So you need a really sharp white pencil for this. All you do is from fairly lower down on the stem, you just make some very light flick marks. Now they're not going to show as much on the lighter areas, but they kind of look cool. Depends how detailed you want to get. Here. See? Now, I'm going to make some very strong lines because that would be the white. I think I'm going to use a pen. But as light as not too thick. That would be the shine from the moon. And you can always put some white lines on your tree on one edge if you want. So I'm going to go on the left side of the tree branches. It just pops them out a little bit more. Makes it look like it's shining off of the moonlight. So just keep to the one side and then you won't get mixed up. So it's always the left side. And then I'm going to extend this up into the tree branches a little bit. Same with here. I just think it looks cute. You don't have to do it if you don't want. This is such a cute, you could do anything really. You could make a little village. I think I need this to be darker. Just isn't enough for me. I need it to stand out more. Even if I just have the main branches. You could leave some of them, and that kind of gives it depth. All right, I guess I should darken the, or put a little bit of highlight on this too. I don't know if you'll notice it much, but you might. Okay, so far. All right, so what else? We have a little fox here, but I know in hers she has some bunnies. So let's put some bunnies in. A white bunny. I think I'd have them sitting on the hill here. So let's see. Let's draw them in first. Find my here's the bunny that she draws a lot of. So they're kind of the primitive look too. Let's see. We'll have them facing the other way. Have them facing looking down here. They have big long ears. And then sitting. A big rump. Somehow. Okay, let's paint him in. The color. There we go. Might need a couple coats. I want them to be fairly opaque. Let's dry them. I think this part here, I just noticed this. I think I want it more integrated. So add probably can't do that now. It's too should have been less of a nope, it's not going to work. Let's see what we do. All right, let's give him another coat. We'll have to give him a shadow where his tail would be. Okay, let's dry it. Thanks, guys. So we can shadow him with a little bit of that blue. We'll have this leg here. Ears. Maybe a little bit darker where he's sitting. Oh my gosh, they're winding upstairs. Tell it's almost time. A little bit. Ears here. That white back a bit. And his little tail. Let's see. What can we put it in? Then I need a dot for his eye. Okay, let's dry that. I think this tree here needs to be thicker. All right, there's the bunny. See, he needs a dot though in his eye, a little darker. Where did I put that marker? I'll use this. Here's the bunny. Then that fun to be a little bit whiter here. Here. Just a smidge. This is when you'll look at things and, yeah, this needs to be lighter here. Same as here. And just take a here. Need to be darker. His shadow needs to be a little bit darker, I think. Just a smidge. This here. There. Okay. All right. Well, so far I think that's pretty good. I'll probably tweak it. I always do that. I'll come back to it probably tomorrow and tweak it a bit. But yeah, it's a fun style. I really like it. It's cute. You could add a whole lot more to it, more vegetation if you wanted to. Look at her website and her paintings. They're so awesome. I love her work. So I hope you enjoyed, and next week I believe the tier 2 will be going up, and I'll have a list and probably a traceable for you for that class. It's live on Wednesday, I believe it is. And I will be having another traceable for tier 1, and you'll see that online for the painting. So if you're at all wondering about stuff, or you have suggestions on something you want to learn, leave it in the comments or in the community center so I can see it, and then I will get right back to you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Great, Eileen. Well, acrylic, eh? It's your favorite. Thanks, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, and if you have done anything like this, hashtag me, because I would love to see what you did. Devin, you can on Instagram or Cass's, what was it? Cass Art Folder, is it? Cass Art Folders, I think. Or just tag me on Twitter. All right, so thanks for coming, and we'll see you real soon, somewhere. Have a good weekend, everybody.